following is a presentation of MRE UNO, Division 1.
Hello everyone and welcome to the Turbo 32 here for MRE UNO's Arcade April for Division 1 on the YouTube channel. Got another stream for you here after we had Caesar and Lamas go at it earlier today. KT making a brief appearance, brief return on commentary for that one. Hopefully should be back into the swing of things in the coming weeks here, but for now, we got another stream match coming up here, and gonna be one interesting one to follow here, especially with who the combatants are. Gonna be number 1 seed Mark, currently running the undefeated streak of 7 matches, looking to make it 8, taking on number 8 Tagoe, who looks to climb the mountaintop once again, and getting a win here could be a big vote of confidence and a big vote of momentum for Tagoe here if he can get it done. So he'll be very hungry to claim victory here in this one, but should be a good one for you, good match for you, hopefully. We'll see how this one plays out, but before we begin, we'll take a look at the bracket here for the upper joystick region. Been quite the tournament so far, to say the least. Was looking to be chalk, but then Gio got the big upset over Captain, 4-1 victory there. He moves on. Other than that, been chalk to this point. Andy beat Seth 4-3 in a close one. Tagoe also beat Arya 4-3 in a close one. Also, best wishes to Arya. Her account got hacked today, so hopefully she ends up being all right. But never love to see that. But keeping things going forward, Mark beat Dark Green in the sweep 4-0. Dark was actually able to, despite losing that one, was able to take advantage of the revive rounds and broke a 2-year winless streak in the second revive round, beat Arya in a admittedly lopsided ammo game, but Dark still able to get it done. So many congratulations to Dark on that one for breaking that winless streak. We'll see if a few more people can do that in those revive rounds, but going back to the main bracket, Mark Tagoe for the Turbo 32 in the upper part of this section, and then Andy Gio will be playing it out on Saturday to see who will make it to the Super 16, aka the sectional finals for this tournament here. Again, loser of this matchup won't necessarily be done. They'll have one more match to go in the tournament, which will be the third place match of the sectional. So they'll play the loser of Andy Gio, whereas the winner will go on the normal winner's path, and we'll still have a shot at the tournament win. But that's what both players are going to be looking to do here today. But we'll see how this one fares and what our matchups will be for our third round of gameplay here in this unique format for Tournament 2. We're going into the preview for this one here. Rookie v Legend for the classes, 4-0 versus 4-3. Not much to say there on the record for this tournament. Only one match played so far for both. Career round of 32 record is interesting. Mark only has the 1-0 right now, going back to specifically his D2 records, though. I mean, especially looking at last season. It's a bit interesting. It's a bit interesting of a selection for him, to say the least. I can't find it. Okay, wait, there it is. He's kind of had some issues in this round before, so it's been like a 50-50 split for him, which is kind of interesting because Tagoe is a 50-50 split in this round, 6-6. He's made it to the round 32 12 times, and he has gone 500. through that, which is a bit interesting with how many times he has made it here. But for Mark, it's also kind of a bit of a split if we're looking at his overall career. But for him, it's kind of been boom or bust in this round. If it's either he loses here or goes on a big run. Seen last season with the second and third place finishes in Tournament 1 and Tournament 4 in D2, and then also this season where he went on to win Fairy Tale February here. So if there's a round where Mark could be looking a little weak here, it could be this one, which maybe could be in the favor of Tagoe here, especially with Tagoe being ranked 24 from the after the T1 players poll. So Tagoe definitely a solid competitor stepping up to the plate here. Could hand Mark his first loss of the season here, or Mark could turn it around and maybe go on another boom run here and make it 8 in a row. We'll have to see, but for career accolades, Mark, of course, has the trophy, also has a silver and a bronze from D2 as well. And then for Tagoe, has the Tournament 5 gold from 2024, and then a bronze medal from, I believe, ironically, the tournament prior to his tournament win in 2024. So he's on a bit of a hot streak there. He'll be looking to try and reach those heights once again here. And a win in this one could be a great start to doing that once again. CPU prediction has it 4-2 for Mark. We'll see if that ends up coming true or not. But with that out of the way, we will bring it to the table here. Because that's going to be me and the players for this one. But hopefully should have a good match between us here. Going to start with you, Mark, to start. It's been a spectacular run for you. All things considered throughout the start of this tournament here. And now you're going into this one looking to make it 8 in a row. Haven't been on a win streak like this I think ever in your career for MRE, but just kind of walk me through your thoughts on how it's been so far and what you're looking to be able to do in this one against Tagoe.
Yeah, man, I just gotta keep doing what I've been doing. Just keep using the momentum to just push me forward and hopefully just take me through this match. This has been a troublesome round for me, so I just kind of gotta do what I've been doing and hopefully it'll work.
All right, thank you, Tagoe. Going to you here. Big opportunity for you in this one, playing the only player who has not dropped a game yet so far this season in D1. Besides Bob Ross, but that's a little bit of a different case. We'll get to that when we get to that. But again, big opportunity for you here to take down Mark would be a massive, at least right now, massive quad 1 win for you as you look to try and make it back to Super League here, and a very early opportunity for you here to make your presence known with a big statement win by going out and beating the Tournament 1 winner. Your thoughts going into this one, and from your perspective, what's going to be the key factor in helping you get the victory here tonight?
I mean, honestly, it's just keeping my composure, dealing with whatever I get when it comes to me, and honestly, just riding out the games. Ugh.
All right, thank you. Before we begin, I just realized the scoreboard colors are a little off, so I'm going to quickly tweak that before we begin, just so we got that all correct. My apologies. Or apologies, I can't speak. But once we do that, we will be good to start. And with that one, there we go. All right. Apologies about that, but should have the correct colors now. We got Voiles hopping in the call for this one, but yeah, gonna get this one rolling. I will start it up here. Voiles actually said he can. Voiles. Oh wait, that was from earlier one. Voiles. We have Nick covering the Nom Stinger one, so you're good for that one. But if you want to help me with this one, that would be awesome. But I'll start the game up at least to start. But yeah, we'll get this one rolling here. Yep. All right, there we go. Mark's got the call for game 1. We'll see what he starts with. He's going to go for the full send in game number 1, starting things off big early. And yes, Voiles, thank you for helping me out on that one. It's going to make things a little quicker, but we are underway. And it's going to open up with the yellow 5 to kick this series off here. We'll see who gets it done. Mark taking a second to open this one up here. Again, a lot of cards in the hand to start on the full send. Going to be a red 5 to open this one up. We'll see if Tagoe rolls with the red or maybe tries to go for something a little different. And so, yes, he will. Gonna go for the crossover in the blue. Doesn't want the red right away. Gonna go with the blue. Had the option to switch. We'll see if Mark switches once again or if he rolls blue. He will roll blue for now. So Tagoe will get his way for the moment. And now we run blue. This has kind of been interesting because I've been noticing this from a lot of these matches, especially in this tournament here. A lot of players are liking to switch off the initial color pretty early on in most of these matches here. Some of the cases will be just kind of only option, but others are just kind of no, I don't really like this initial color. Rather start somewhere different, have the option to, and go for it. So it's been interesting to see a lot of players elect to go for that. There, I haven't really seen a lot of long runs on the initial color in a while, but we'll see if that ends up being the case as we keep going in this series. As Mark gonna get out of the blue here and goes in the yellow. So now we're back to the initial color. And yeah, I mean I kind of mentioned it before, like that it's not necessarily that they don't have the initial color, it's just kind of don't want to start there right away. And now we're running that yellow that we started on beforehand, and just gonna keep running it with the numbers. Tagoe has the first draw of the series here. Mark looking to keep it going and retake the lead. Mark taking a second. We'll see what he does here. Both players have deafened also, so that actually opens up the floor a little bit for me to kind of discuss what both are trying to do here, at least from my perspective. Okay, so oh man, plus 12 and switch the green throws Tagoe down to 20 cards, so Tagoe has the comeback noted if he can get this win, but wow, a big run from Mark there. I'm curious about the call on that one there. Plus 12s can be pretty risky because you definitely open up the floodgates more for a potential ammo, and I mean you're gonna see that right there. Tagoe gonna immediately respond with the plus 4 there, not taking any chances on that one, and it's gonna scramble up Mark's hand a little bit with the plus 4. I think with that one, definitely a solid call to make on that one there. Definitely the safe option also, but we'll see how this blue rolls. Mark able to play it, but with a very dominant lead here. And Tagoe is going to switch it out of the blue. So played the plus 4 into blue and is immediately going to switch out of it into red. I'm wondering if he's trying to. I mean, obviously, you always love to see the opponent draw, but I'm wondering if he's trying to find where the weak color is and get that draw there. I'm curious if he's going to actually have another switch here, although we are on the 0. All right, no switch there, but he does have the plus 2. May have been the reason he wanted that. So, has the plus 2 on red. Throws Mark back a little bit more, but Mark's still able to play. Mark has not drawn yet so far in this game. We'll see if he can keep it going, but Tagoe has thrown a few cards Mark's way and could have definitely scrambled a hand and maybe leave a stray card out there that Mark is going to have to figure out a way to get rid of. Keeps rolling with the numbers. Double red 3 from Mark. Tagoe going to take advantage and switch into green. Is that actually what Mark wanted, though? May have been. We got a ditto. First ditto of the series. And that was going to be the green 5. So, running green here. Seems like Mark wanted that green. I'm curious if he could run it on green. The rest of the way. I feel like you got at least one. You have at least one more color potentially in the mix here. We did not really last too long on blue. I wouldn't be surprised if Mark has another blue or two he'd like to get rid of. But we're only 5 minutes in so far, so it's been a quicker paced game. Mark actually going to go for the switch to yellow. Tagoe is going to deny it, though. Does not want that switch. Says, we're going to stay on green. You're going to like it. But Mark has the green still available. Maybe was looking for that as the option. He is down to 2. Now what does Tagoe do here? He's going to play the blue wild. I don't know about that one. That's a bit of a risky call. We were not on this blue for long. I don't know how much I love this call here from Tagoe, but we'll see. It could work out. But I think for Tagoe, if Mark does get the Uno, he's got to make sure he commits to it. It's the one thing you don't want to do when you go for a call like this. Mark's going to actually just use the power play straight up. So, game 1 power play, and I would presume he has it. Oh, and he has a wild of his own. So, has another wild that goes into yellow. So, I mean, correct call from Tagoe on the wild there, but we'll see. Maybe Mark didn't need the power play on that one. We'll have to find out. But able to open up the series with a 1-0 win. Mark, I guess my main question is just kind of thoughts on deciding to go for the power play in game 1 there to ensure that with the wild finish.
There are just so many wild and wild +4s left that, and both of the yellow +2s that really, if he had any of those that was in quite a bad position. So I just want to get it over with.
Tagoe, any thoughts on that one, or would you like to move on to game 2?
No, we can move on to game 2. I just thought that that power play was interesting.
All right. Tagoe with some thoughts on that one there, but we'll see how this one all plays out. But Mark has used his one and only power play in game 1, so we'll have to see if that will work out for him moving forward. But we begin game 2. And it's going to be a red 3, and Mark's going down 1. There could be a chance we see a lot of high card starts here in this series. There are some players who just want to run the 15, 14, 13, 12 for their home stands. So we'll see if that ends up being the case here. All right, and I mean, again, another early switch here. I mean, Tagoe switched to blue on the first turn, but then again, another switch from Tagoe, and now he's just light switching here. It's been a switch for all 3 turns so far. He is going all over the table here at the moment to start this second game. And that's going to be the one that bites him there, as it's going to be a +2 from Mark, saying not so fast, and he's going to have to draw, but another light switch from Tagoe, going to just keep going all over the table. Gonna keep light switching till he can't. I think that's gonna be the motto for Tagoe on this one. Would that light switching include a wild also? We'll see. He has taken a second. And that's gonna be another switch here, but this one's gonna be a +6 thrown onto it, and Mark up to 14. Tagoe down to 9. We'll see how Mark responds. And Mark gonna go for a switch of his own there. And this time Tagoe is actually just gonna roll with the color. It's the first time Tagoe did not switch the color on his turn. See if the switch in positioning will change up what Tagoe does here. As he rolls with blue. He continues to do so with a 4.5 card lead. Has the wild there, goes into yellow. We'll see if Mark has a wild and maybe goes back into blue there, because jumped off the blue ship there. And maybe looking for something else. Mark really taking a second to figure out what he wants to do on this one. Just gonna play the yellow number, and Tagoe gonna play the play a number as well. His being a yellow 8. I mean, this would be good for Tagoe if he can get one back here and tie it up 1-1 going into his homestand. would have the power play advantage, and no longer has the lead. And Mark is going to try and force out the blue from Tagoe here, as it's going to be a +4 in the blue. We'll see how long Tagoe can run it. And I don't think that was what Mark was expecting there, as he was trying to rinse that one out, and Mark going to have to draw. But Tagoe is out as well here, so both out on blue. Top deck blue 4 from Mark here, looking to get out of here. And will get out of there with Tagoe, so this has now become a 3-color game. Mark with a red 1. Both looking to run red now, unless we get another switch from Tagoe. He's been doing a lot of that this game. Double play from Tagoe, that will give him the possession arrow lead. Mark is out on red, so he's down to 2 colors here. Tagoe looking to keep it going. And he will with the switch into yellow, and Tagoe is putting himself in a good position here. Number is still from Mark. Tagoe down to 2 with the yellow 0. Does Mark have an option to try to disrupt Tagoe? We'll see. Or will Tagoe close this one out and make it 1-1? Mark with another +4 and goes into green this time. Gonna retake the lead with that one. That's one that's definitely gotta be a bit frustrating for Tagoe there. Was very close there, but another +4 comes in the way for Mark. Just gotta play the numbers from Tagoe, and second +4 of the game for Mark, and it's gonna be both that he's had so far in this series. Mark just running on green. Tagoe just gonna have to roll with green as well. Question is, does Tagoe look for that switch here at some point, or does he have to just keep running green? I feel like Tagoe might be looking for a switch here. Saw Mark draw on that red. And we didn't see all of yellow, and another +4, and wow, he just finished it right there. Mark was down to 2, but Tagoe with another +4 and able to get that 4-card chain to the finish. And what ended up being a bit of a +4 back and forth ends up with Tagoe getting the last laugh on that one and making it 1-1. 5:26 on the clock for that one, but gonna be all tied up. Tagoe was kind of back and forth on that one there. With Mark had 2 +4s on that one that were definitely throwing you back, but able to play the final +4 of that one and ended with a 4-card finish. Just kind of your thoughts from that game, and kind of where were the draws that kind of came in that were able to help you get that win?
Well, I have to say that I was holding on to a couple of things. You know, I was just waiting for the right moment to make my play. I let me think. Most of my draws were just time sake, just trying to keep time, hold the line. But I managed to get it done.
All right, well, it's gonna be 1-1 going into your homestand here. Mark, any comments after that game? Anything you felt maybe could have gone different, or just kind of the way that was gonna play out from your end?
I got 2 +4 that I expected to go better, but I feel like I had to use it both of the times I did, so I don't know what I could have done there.
All right, well, game 3 call. Tagoe gonna go 2 down for this one, and we'll see who can take the lead, as we got a +4 start here, and Tagoe gonna go for the draw for the culture start. We'll see what Mark does here. People saying Mark should be cultured. I would say he should. And he will do the draw there, because you don't want to draw as player 2, because then you got the voodoo following you, which you don't really want. But going to have the culture draw to start, so this has become a 13-card start now. And Tagoe going to open this up with the red one. We'll see what Mark decides to do. Alright, just going to stick with red for now. Is that what Tagoe wanted? He switches out of blue. May have not wanted to run the red for long. May have had a stray. And if that's the case, we'll get out of there. So if that ends up being the play Tagoe was hoping for, mission success on that one as we go blue now. And Tagoe's just going to continue to light switch. I mean, this light switching was working. Light switch helped him in game 2 to get the win here. So going to try to use this again. So trying to bring out some of the strats that kind of get Pez first brought into the league here, and it's kind of been spread around as time goes along. But Tagoe going to keep light switching here until he can't no more. We'll see what Mark decides to do now. I'm just gonna keep running. The color that Tagoe switches to. He's just not gonna engage in the switches at the moment. Just gonna keep getting rid of his number cards on that current color. His light switching strategy is good to kind of keep your opponent on the toes and kind of keep them guessing, but there's also cases like this where one switch too many ends up biting you on that one. Not the worst case scenario, but 3-card run with a +2. Mark will take the lead. We'll see what Tagoe does now with a currently 4-card disadvantage, but if he has to play here, will be 3. Alright, we'll have to play here. Goes with blue for now. Mark is out on the blue. Used up all his resources on that color, and Tagoe looking to take advantage here potentially. Alright, not quite. We'll switch the red. Blue could be out of the picture for the moment. Red is going to be the color we roll with. Tagoe looking for a run to retake the lead. And he will do it with a +12. And a bit of payback from earlier where Mark +12 Tagoe, and then Mark went on to win that game. So bit of payback on that one here. We'll see what Mark does. 18 cards in his hand. It's going to be a 15-card difference between the two. But with Tagoe down to 3, we'll have to see what Mark elects to do here, as could be close to a finish for Tagoe, but all depends on what he has. I feel like in most cases the safe option is just throw a +4 or a +2 down if you have it, but sometimes you want to go for the call that kind of helps you in the long term, as opposed to just kind of short term stopping the bleeding. And not going to throw any cards his way here. Going to have a switch, and that's the switch that's going to be effective here. So Mark gets the switch into red, able to run that. Tagoe going to have to draw here, and Mark is going to look to take advantage of this fully. And if he has any of those +4s and +2s, he's going to be able to hold on to them for a later time. So force 2 draws out of Tagoe there on the red, switches into yellow now. We'll see what Mark does here, as Tagoe able to get out of that red, which was causing him some issues. Still a 9-card difference at the moment. Alright, yellow 1. What does Tagoe do here? Plays another number, so he's down to 3. Mark just gonna keep playing the numbers here. And another yellow from Tagoe, has 3 yellows. Mark's definitely gonna feel a little bit more pressure here. What does he do? Does he just keep playing the yellow numbers here, or does he decide to go for an ammo card to throw some cards Tagoe's way? Didn't see him do it initially. And Mark not feeling too safe about that one, just going to play the +4. Purely to add 4 more cards to Tagoe's hand, and we'll keep it yellow with the yellow 0. So wants to stay on this yellow for a bit longer, but didn't feel safe about the current situation. Well, Tagoe able to switch into red now. And not what Mark wanted there. That kind of backfires from what we saw before. Tagoe didn't have any red, but now he does with the +4, and Mark is now struggling on this color. Red reverse. Does he have a switch out, or is he going to have to draw? He does have a switch out. Goes in the green. And then the green too. So, trying to bring it closer here. Tagoe goes back into that yellow. Mark did just +4 here, +4 here, into yellow when we were already on yellow here. So, we'll see if he still has some cards. And he will. He'll have the ditto. And I don't know if Tagoe is necessarily expecting that one, because he's going to have to draw. I think he was hoping for a different number and then be able to switch out once again. Had a stray on the yellow. Double play there. And that's kind of what he was looking for there, be able to switch. Goes into blue now. And I mean, this is a close game. Uno call for Tagoe. Both blue 2s are laid down. 3 cards left for Mark. Does he have anything to keep himself going in this one, or will Tagoe take the game 3 win? Mark typing. We'll see what he does. Tagoe hoping for something in specific to happen. We'll see if that ends up happening here. Whether it be Mark goes for a switch, or if he just keeps it blue. Yeah, Mark really taking a second to think through this one here. He could be close to a finish also, but this could also be a 50-50 situation where playing the wrong card can cost him the game. Goes to the blue 6. Does Tagoe have it? He does not. No finish on blue for Tagoe. Now, does Mark get the Uno? He gets the Uno on the switch to green. Tagoe on Uno with the switch with the green 8. And Mark has it with the wild yellow, and I think that was the decision he was pondering, whether he goes for that switch there, maybe into that green, or if he risks it with the blue. He seems to end up picking correctly on that one, and we'll make it 2-1 here. And yeah, that was a pretty good game. It really went down to the wire on that one. Mark, I just said I'm thinking your pause there when Tagoe was at Uno was the decision to either stay on blue or use that wireless switch the color. Was that the case there on that one?
Yeah, it was. He didn't draw on either color. I kind of just had to 50-50 it.
All right. Well, it seems like Tagoe, unfortunately, Tagoe was kind of in a bad spot there, no matter what the choice was. Had a stray red there, so tough situation for Tagoe on that one. But was doing a good job staying low there. But unfortunately, sometimes those stray cards get you. But yeah, I mean, the good news for Tagoe is got the game 4 call here. Try to make this an evens series. So we'll see if he decides to keep it high or maybe go somewhere else. Alright, he is going to keep it high. I'm going to go with 13 this time. Alright. Blue 5 to kick this one off. We've seen Tagoe light switch for the last 2 games here. We'll see if it's going to be a third, and we just saw it on the first turn with the switch in the green. So I do expect Tagoe to go light switching again here for game number 4. Yeah, there it is. So he's just going to kind of open up with that. Technically the second game in a row we're doing a 13 card start here due to the culture draw at the start of game 3, but for now Tagoe looking to approach it the same way he did before, and no light switch there, only 2 turns with the light switch. The third turn's going to be a double play in red. I think the one thing with the light switching strategy where that's all you go, I think the one risk with it is if you don't light switch suddenly, I think that's an indicator you don't have a specific number, and that could be useful knowledge later on. Especially when someone's getting down low and it's like you have to decide between what to do to keep it on a color if you need it. But yeah, Tagoe gonna go with the double red 7 here. Mark tried to switch it, got denied. Does Mark have an answer? And it's going to be a slap in the face for Tagoe. And wow, he is going to pay the price there on that one. +6 his way as we go in the green. We'll see what he ends up drawing in his hand, but caught a little off guard on that one, but able to get the red once again. Does Mark have an option this time to get out of here, or is he going to have to draw? Taking a second to type, may have another option out of this red. Seems like Mark is avoiding this red by any means necessary. And he goes into blue. Mark staying out of the red for a few turns now. And is able to keep getting closer and closer to that finish. Tagoe gonna do the switch, not in the red but in the green. Gonna try something a little different here. May not have the options to get back into that red with the current card, but looking to try to find that draw. And a wild play from Mark. And now we go into yellow. Could be an indicator of something there for Tagoe. We'll see if he goes for a green here. And ooh, and he's gonna repay Mark for the +6 from earlier and get a switch in. It's a red, but no remaining reds, and is gonna have to draw. Mark will have some reds likely from that +6 here as we are tied. Tagoe looking to get out of the red, will not be able to do it on the 5. Question is, how long can Mark run this red here? Won't necessarily be forever, as I think a majority of these reds were from the +6, but Tagoe going to be able to get the switch on that second attempt into yellow, which is the color Mark originally wanted. But Mark, despite the +6, still holding on to the lead by just a little bit. This is going to be an important game for Tagoe to try to win, because if he drops this one, it's going to be 3-1. That's definitely going to put a lot of pressure on him to get the job done in the next 3 games. He does have the power play still, so that would be to his advantage, but these 3-1 comebacks are not necessarily easy. Would rather make it 2-2 here heading into game 5 and make that a game where still a very critical game, but one where if you drop it, series would not be over. But Mark going to continue to run yellow. Lead has been cut into just a possession arrow lead. Both are at the same, but now Tagoe is going to take the possession arrow lead. He goes down to 5. Another double play from Tagoe. What does Mark do here? He just plays the yellow 8. And that's going to be what Tagoe needs to get the switch out. So he's looking to be in a good spot if he can keep this green. And Mark has a +4, immediately denies the green and goes in the blue. Big swing from Mark there. We'll see if Tagoe is able to respond. And he will respond with a switch into yellow, the color he initially switched off of. But Mark has a yellow one also. Plays the ditto. What does Tagoe do here? Because that could be a bit of a concern. Is that actually what Mark wanted? Just going to have to run yellow for now. Sticks to the commitment on yellow here. Wow, and another +4, and that'll end it. And that's going to be 2 games where Mark has 2 +4s, and going to be able to help line him up on that one to take the 3-1 lead. And yeah, able to just kind of execute on that one correctly. Had the right cards to get the job done there. Tagoe tried his best with what he had to stop that one, but it was going to be tough to block that second +4. Especially if there weren't really many plus twos or plus fours in Tagoe's hand on that one there. So did his best on that one, but Mark kind of able to take control of that one. Mark, one away. Had the 2+4s there. Were they both from Jaws, or were you able to kind of have one of them from the start?
One of them was from the cert. The other one was from the 2+2s.
See, so the +6 ended up giving a +4 there. All right, well, Mark has the call for game 5 here. Tagoe, before we get into that, just kind of mentality heading into this back half of the series. He's trying to make this comeback and get the job done.
Hey, it is what it is.
You know, sometimes that's the right mentality to have in that one, because just you're only able to control what you can control. So Tagoe gonna do what he can to try and make this comeback, but ultimately it may just come down to what he finds in his hand. But we got the game 5 call here. Gonna go with 14, which is interesting because Mark lost on 14, so he's gonna try it again. But we'll see how this one fares, as he's just kind of been riding the heights. So as I mentioned before, some people just kind of like going 15, 14, 13, 12, and that's kind of what we've been seeing from Mark so far, with 14 being the highest available, as he did not win on 14 in his first attempt. Tagoe with another switch early on here in game number 5. We'll see if he keeps on light switching or will mix it up a little bit. We saw it get cut off a little earlier in game 4. Only had 2 turns of it, so didn't do that one for as long. But yeah, in these early games here, I think Mark's just kind of been seeing Tagoe has been doing these light switches and just kind of been letting him do his thing and throw some numbers out of the way early on. All right, and Tagoe is not going to light switch, going to mix it up a little bit here. Had the one switch at the start, but only going to have that specific one here. Going to try to mix it up a little bit to try and get this comeback started. All right, ditto play on the blue 2. Tagoe going to just keep on rolling with the blues, though. Ooh, and Mark's going to get that tough switch off the blue 0 into green. Tagoe just going to keep rolling here. Yeah, Mark does not have his power play, so can't use it here. Tagoe still has his, maybe, depending on the situation, may have to use it in the offensive manner, but I feel like for him, he'd like to hold on to it as long as he can and use it for a game 1. We'll see. Mark just kind of keeps going on the greens here. So will Tagoe. Been all numbers so far early in this one. And there's the draw from Mark. So Mark gonna have to draw there. Just gonna wait on that one. Alright, Tagoe's just gonna keep going on green here. Mark's still drawing. This is good for Tagoe because he needs that bit of separation here. He's gonna keep on getting it. And Tagoe feels he's done enough on green here and is gonna switch to yellow, so that's gonna release Mark from his eternal draw there. And we'll see how he's able to try and bring this one back up to 11 cards here while Tagoe down to 5. Alright, so Mark is, yeah, that's an early +4 from Mark. That's another one from him. It's going to be a 6th of the game. 6-2 on the +4s there, so we're kind of starting to see a bit of a differential on that one. Tagoe with more +2s and skip reverses, but The +4s have been dominated by Mark so far, and another switch from the green, and Tagoe is going to make that +4 not be very effective at the moment. And that will give the red here, as this green has been a struggle for Mark here in Game 5. Ooh, and right, so Mark gonna switch it up here, switch gets the blue. Maybe could have been a top deck, we'll see. Tagoe was gonna still roll with it fine, but that may have not been exactly what he was hoping for here. It could still adjust potentially. And the +2 is gonna even things up a little bit here. Mark trying to bring Tagoe back, and gonna be 1.5 down now. Tagoe's still able to play the blues. Mark is out once again. He's just kind of doing these doubles and then drawing. So, I mean, it seems a little bit all over the place for Mark at the moment here. Wild play from Tagoe goes into yellow. Let's see who will get this win. All right, Mark's just going to roll with yellow. Tagoe, of course, not going to keep this yellow. And double play from Mark. That's not a good sign, though, because based off what we see, Mark has been doing these doubles into a draw here. We'll see if he's going to have to draw on this one. Or at the very least very least may switch it. No, he does have another yellow here, so does have an additional yellow 9. And now Tagoe is going to use the wild, go in the red. And I think it's going to tie up the wilds. 5-2. Let's go in the red. Tagoe looking to get to at least Uno, if not the win here. Mark saying fine and has the +4. Oh, man. That one's got to be frustrating for Tagoe there. Seemed to have it all lined up, doing the right things, and then bam, that +4 comes in, which has just kind of not been coming across Tagoe's hand this series. And yeah, it's going to be 7-2 now, and it's going to be very disappointing for Tagoe there, but he will have a +2 to alleviate some of that pain as we still continue into red. Red skip, red +2, and a triple play here, marked down to 2. Tagoe got back down to 4, but now he's back up to 6. 2-6 here. Mark does not have a power play, though. And Tagoe will get the +4 here. That's the second +4 in a row on red, and we have stayed on red for a bit. And yeah, again, Tagoe really trying to fight with what he has here. Switching to yellow, both able to run it. Can Tagoe get down to 2? He will with the yellow 0. Mark with the yellow skip. He gets down to 2 as well. Both are low. Tagoe, I wonder if this is a point where he maybe considers using the power play here with how the series has gone. But he's not going to use it here because he doesn't have any yellow left. And neither does Mark. Both have to draw on the yellow 2 here. And we are in a scary situation for both here as both are low. And that's why, because you get those top decks there. And Tagoe able to get the fortune of the top deck in that one. And will get one back. Makes it 4-2 there. Tagoe, I guess I gotta ask, was it the yellow skip that came off the top there to help you get that very much needed win on your end and try to build some momentum here to make this comeback?
Oh, absolutely. When I got hit with that +4, I just got a bunch of garbage and I just tried to work with it. So it came down to that little 3-bagger right there, which the yellow skip did help with.
All right, well, back on the board here. I'm gonna make it 3-2. Mark, you were down to 2 with Tagoe. Getting down to the wire. Then had the draw. What were your last 2 cards there, and were you potentially looking to be close to close this one out? All right, so blue 8, blue 9. So needed to switch the blue on that one.
Yeah, I kind of just had junk there. Not too much I could do after I did the +4.
All right, so Mark goes back to 14 and loses again, and now Tagoe is going to go back to 13 here. We'll see if this works out. Didn't end up working out for Mark here, so I'm a little curious on the call. But I mean, both these players just kind of like keeping it high, so we'll have to see. I'm a bit surprised that Tagoe did not go for the 15 on that one if he's just going to keep it high on that one and then elect to go to a card start we've already been on. But nonetheless, it's going to be 3-2 here. Tagoe looking to force game 7. Mark looking to close this one out right here, right now. And Tagoe gonna light switch once again. This one only did it once in the prior game. Gonna open it up a little bit more now. And actually gets the tough switch on the 0. Keep the light switch chain going. Goes back into the initial color Tagoe swapped on. And that will be it. Ends the light switching with a double play. So takes a definitive lead here. Mark just going to continue the roll numbers. And Tagoe going to switch in the blue. Leaves that yellow a little bit of an unknown here. Mark going to cross over into green. Yeah, I mean, we haven't really seen much plan A per se in this series, but it's just kind of both have been running it down pretty quickly and then just kind of get stalled out somewhere in like the 4 to 6 card range, or even the 7 card range. Mark is out on 7 cards. Tagoe just keeps on going. Mark, the screen has been a struggle for him in this back half, and going to continue to do so here. So you got to switch into blue. 9-3 on the cards. Tagoe looking to run this plan A to the finish. Mark with the blue 5. Tagoe with a wild. We'll be looking for Uno next time by. Mark only plays the red, so Tagoe at least at Uno, if not the game. And he will get the game with the plan A and the double on that one. So has that hand lined up, and we are going to game 7 on that one. Yeah, Tagoe, not much to say on that one. Just kind of had the cards line up on that one for plan A, and now we're going to game 7. Alright, well, this is it. Final game of the series. Mark can't pick 15, 12, 13, or 15. I'm curious to see what he's gonna go for on this one. He's gonna triple down on that 14. Alright. There we go. Game 7 underway with the green 3. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about this one. He lost on it twice. We've seen third time's the charm sometimes, but more often than not for me, I feel like it's been 3 strikes you're out. So I don't know about the call there. I would have gone maybe like 11 if you want to keep it higher, but yeah. Tagoe with the power play also. So I mean, this is not the best position for Mark to be in, but he did have the game 7 call. Just gonna have to see what happens here. As Mark had a slight misplay on that one, tried to play red 5, didn't have it, goes with the red 4. And that's gonna end up being a ditto. Stingray is still not here. Alright. Alright. Mark with the red. Tagoe with the switch, the green. And both have just kind of been rolling numbers like most of these games so far in the early going. But Mark looking to hold on to that position arrow lead as we get a crossover into yellow. And triple play there from Tagoe. Throws 2 cards Mark's way. Goes into yellow. I think Tagoe's had more +2s. Yeah, it's 11-9 on that one. And then +4, 7-3. So I think overall, when you kind of look at this whole game, I actually think it's been more even on the ammo. Because I mean, there's a 4-card difference on the +4s, but then Tagoe leading the other categories here. So I think this has been pretty split down the middle so far. Yellow 7 switch into red. Tagoe currently in the catbird seat here as he has the 4-card lead with power play. Mark is gonna have to find a way to make Tagoe draw, whether it's through self draws or +2s or +4s. Otherwise, Tagoe's just gonna keep rolling on these numbers. For Mark, gotta find this weakness. Another switch from Tagoe. Keep himself tricky to read. Looks like Stingrays here, so that matchup's getting underway. What does Mark do here? Plays the green 4. Tagoe just gonna keep going. I mean, Tagoe wins this one. That's gonna be back-to-back plan A's to win it, but not necessarily like massive hands. Just kind of everything lined up. Again, Mark used the power play in game 1, so he's not gonna have this as an option. It's gonna be what ends up being in his hand at this current time. He has been unsuccessful so far in finding that draw from Tagoe. Green 9, trying to see if he runs out on green, and he will run out on green, so Mark able to find it. But can Mark keep it going on green? Tagoe has a bit of an early type there after drawing. We'll see if there's something to make of that. Yeah, Mark really taking a second to think what he wants to do here. Just keeps going green. I think he's trying to hope he does not find that switch. And the switch will happen there. Tagoe goes into red, gets out of that green. Mark taking a second to type, maybe looking for the run. Has the red 0. Tagoe down to 3. Mark low, but Tagoe with a lead here and the power play. What does Mark do in this situation? What lays in his hand? Five to 3, both players can sense it. They are close. Spot in the Super 16 on the line. Mark gets ready to type it up. Oh, and he has the finish! And the 4-card chain is going to block Tagoe from using the power play in a defensive manner like that. And the red skip chain into the greens, and then the red into green is just going to end it. And that one comes all the way down to the wire, but Mark is going to escape in a close one. Wow. Mark able to get the win there, and that one really fell down to the wire here. Mark, gonna go to you first. Tagoe had the card lead for a good chunk of that game, but you were kind of slowly trying to make your way down to be able to kind of get in that spot to end up getting that run there. I'm assuming most of that was in your starting hand, but just kind of thoughts on barely making it through this one here, keeping the undefeated streak going and moving on to the Super 16.
Yeah, it feels good. Of course. The wild +4 is kind of telling. I think I should have probably won that more like 4-2 just based off of that. But I need to focus on improving my play for net time. But definitely happy with the result. Just wish the ammo was a little bit more equal.
Fair enough. Yeah, I mean the 3 plus 4 difference definitely going to help Mark on that one. Ironically, Tagoe actually led every other ammo category, but not by the same length of the plus 4 there. So slight advantages in the other one, but the plus 4 on the only one that has a big difference on that one, and that ends up being the one that seems to be the most important in this one. But Tagoe came very, very close to making that comeback there. Was down to 3 cards. Did you have a finish potentially lined up within the next turn or two?
Oh no, I had nothing that entire game. It was mostly just numbers.
Oh, unfortunate one on that one there, but I mean that was still a great fight you put up there. Got close ultimately down to 3 cards, but ultimately Mark having that 5 card run kind of ended things there, and then with the 4 card chain didn't really allow for the defensive power play to be used. But um, thoughts on the match tonight, and you're heading into Revive round 3 for the 3rd place match in this section, going up against whoever loses between Andy, Gio. Your thoughts on the match tonight, and just kind of thoughts going into that last game.
I'll just deal with it when it comes to me. I mean, I was hoping to win this match, but I mean, it happens. Cards don't line up the way that I intend them to. Just not getting lucky when I need to. I'll just deal with it. Uh, I'm kind of just gonna go like, fuck it, we ball for the rest of the tournament, I guess, because it doesn't really mean much. That's all I have.
All right, fair enough. Again, could go out with the win there. For that last match. Best of luck to you in that one. But that'll do it for this stream here. Again, congrats to Mark on the win. Keeps the undefeated streak going here in a close matchup here. Gonna face the winner of Andy Gio in the Super 16 as he looks to return to the Final Four and try to make it back to back here, start off the season. But that'll do it for the stream. Thank you all so much for watching. On behalf of the MRE UNO commission team, including myself, our ref Voyle. Wait. Yeah, our ref Voiles, and everyone else who came out to watch. Thank you all so much for watching. I'm G-Man. We will be back with another stream tomorrow. That will be the ultimately the last stream of the round due to scheduling. And that stream will end up being Ard versus Yapez. Should hopefully be a good one. Short. We'll bring you coverage on that one. But till then, I'm G-Man. Take care, everyone. Have a good night, and thanks for watching.
This has been a presentation of MRE UNO Division 1.